For the woman who always feels busy, overwhelmed, and maybe you're experiencing some resentment, delegation, collaboration, and support multiply your capacity. Your job is to lead, not to carry it all. And when you get this, you take a big weight off of your shoulders because you're no longer feeling responsible for doing it all. Okay, this belief comes from an old, outdated belief that you developed when you were younger, but you don't have to carry it anymore. You don't have to be responsible for everyone, for their emotions, for their underfunctioning, because we believe and feel we have to hold it all together. Now, I'm here to remind you that you don't. You can ask for support. You can ask for help. You can hand off something that you're dealing with. I remember when I was a young mom, I would do everything. And I remember my sister telling me one day, Justina, why don't you just have your kids do some of it? And that stopped me in my tracks because I was like, why have I never thought of this before? But as someone who grew up being an overfunctioner, someone who had to take care of kids as a kid, I learned very early that all of it is my responsibility, that I am responsible for everything. For things to function, I need to make sure I am over-functioning, to be honest. And so what happens is we can make someone who's capable and functioning an under-functioner, or we get into situations where we are with people that under-function. And then we find ourselves resentful, burnt out, overwhelmed. And if you're like me, I got to the point where I was afraid of being overwhelmed because I believed so deeply that everything was my responsibility. So I would withdraw from connecting to people. I would withdraw from moving forward in my business. I remember when I stopped my first business, I went through some years of trying to find what's the next thing to do, but I kept running into myself. And one of the biggest fears was this fear of being overwhelmed because I believed that I had to handle everything, and that asking for help was lazy, and delegating meant I didn't know what I was doing. And even when I did delegate in my first business, I was such a control freak that I had to micromanage everything that was happening in the business, that the support wasn't really working for me. I want to remind you that you can ask for support, that just wanting is human. It's not wrong. And you needing support is not a weakness. It's actually a sign of your humanity, because we were created to be in communities. You know, you hear stories of ages ago where when women had children, they never raised them on their own. They always had community raising the child together. They had grandparents, great-grandparents, uncles, aunties, villagers. They would all come together to help raise the child. Even in Samoa, my mom would tell me stories about how they had help in the house. There were families and people who would come and stay with the kids while the parents worked or did whatever they did. So we are meant to have support. And there's this hyper-independence that we can adapt from our childhood or our young adulthood when we experience abandonment. No one really showed up for you. So you learn, I have to do everything on my own. But the beautiful thing about growing older is realizing that these are old stories that were developed in some very vulnerable times earlier in my life that I don't have to continue with. I can understand that I don't need to hold it all, that I'm actually not designed to hold it all, that my capacity is expanded with support, with delegation, and with collaboration, which means that with other people, I actually am better. I thrive, whether that's at home with my kids or in my business. I'm not taking on extra work when I know I don't have the capacity. Maybe I'm pulling in other people, my coworkers, my boss, for support. I'm being bold and brave enough because I know that my want, my desire, me having it is good enough. It doesn't need validation. It doesn't mean I'm weak. It doesn't mean there's something wrong with me because I need help. It's simply I'm being what I was designed to be, which is human operating in community where we all work together to achieve a goal, whether raising kids, running a business, or helping the office run smoothly if you work a job or whatever that may be for you. But we all have a role that we play, and then we bounce off of each other for support. So look at your life. In the areas that you're feeling overwhelmed, resentful, ask yourself, where do I need support here? What is one thing I can hand off? Or who is one person I can ask for support? Your job is to lead yourself and lead what you are responsible for, not to carry it all, okay? Which means I'm leading myself, so I'm the CEO of me. And when I see that I'm overwhelmed, when I see that I'm resentful, I know that there's something here I need to get curious around. I need to pull in my resources. Maybe I need to build relationships that can support me in this area, but I need to tap into it because my body's giving me a sign that you have some unmet needs that need to be expressed. Those are not signs that something's wrong with you. Like, oh, I'm resentful and overwhelmed. Something's wrong with me. I must be bad. I must be wrong. No, those are cues that your body's giving you that you have some wants, whether that's from yourself to set a boundary, to set a limit here, whether that's with yourself to say, hold up a minute, I'm taking on too much. Or in a way where it's like, I need to ask for some help, ask for the support that I need. Okay. Ask for someone to carry their load. I'm not going to carry your load anymore. I need you to step up to the plate. Be brave enough to do that. You have the courage in you. You just need to practice that muscle, applying it in this area where you consistently keep feeling overwhelmed and resentful. And that's okay. There's nothing wrong with you. It's just, this is how we were designed. This is what we were conditioned for, right? That, being strong is doing it all on your own. Being weak is asking for help. And that is an outdated belief that you get to look at and choose not to believe. It's a simple choice. I don't need to believe that anymore. I'm not a little helpless, vulnerable kid anymore. I'm a grown adult and I get to choose what I believe and how I will lead my life. And what choice is going to help me to thrive, that's going to expand my capacity? One where I'm getting support, one where I'm advocating for myself, right? So remember, wanting is not wrong. It's data. Needing help is not wrong. It's human. And delegation, collaboration, and support multiply our capacity. And your job is to lead, not to carry everything. So how can you delegate? How can you collaborate? How can you reach out for support? Remember, my friend, your desires don't make you wrong. Your desires are not a sign that something's wrong with you. Your desires are your compass. They're your compass trying to guide you to what you need in this moment, in this life, in this day. Listen to them, stop doubting them, and making them mean something's wrong with you, because there's nothing wrong with you, okay? You're human, and your desires are a compass showing you something that needs attention. Listen to them, all right? I love you. I'll talk to you in the next episode. Bye.